I want to do a brief overview of the DJI GO 4.0. This isn't going to be real in-depth, just a real brief overview. I want to stress this app only supports the Phantom 4, Mavic Pro, Phantom 4 Pro, and the i2. All other craft have to be used with GO 3.0 that's still going to be in development, and they can coexist on the same tablet, so no worries there. Top is your main controller settings. This is where you can set your home points, enable multiple flight modes. That also enables your intelligent flight modes. Return to home altitude, this is where you could set that, and your max flight distances, and also your advanced settings. Advanced settings is where your expo hides, sensitivity and gains, also where your sensor calibration is done. You can also set your return to home methods when the remote control signal is lost. I suggest to leave it on return to home. Return to home remote obstacle avoidance is also another thing that I suggest you enable. The craft on its return to home route will try to avoid obstacles, so that's definitely a cool last ditch failsafe. Next is your visual navigation settings. This is where you can enable your downward, front facing and rear facing on the P4P avoidance systems. You can also have it fly backwards in certain modes, disable that. Precision landing, this is also where you can enable that. Precision landing, let me tell you, you want to get up to 15-20 feet without touching any other control. Any other control will cancel out the precision landing protocol. So you just want to take it up only using throttle to that height, and while you're doing that, it's taking pictures of the takeoff spot. So when it does do a return to home, it can match up, and it lands pretty much in the same area. It's actually pretty cool. Your next menu. This is where we can do a remote control calibration, change your stick modes from mode 1 to, or from mode 2 to 1 or 3, or even do a custom one. This is also where you will link and customize the rear C1 and C2 buttons. As you can see, there's all kinds of different options, even a not defined option. So make sure you scroll in these windows so you see all the options. Here is where you can change your frequencies under the HD menu, either from 2.4 to 5.8. You can also go to custom mode, and custom will allow you to change your bandwidth, transmission quality, or set it to a hard channel. What's good about that is you're flying with other people with light bridge units. You guys all want to kind of separate, stay on different frequencies even, and then select different channels within that frequency. The battery screen is pretty much just like the DJI GO 3. You have all your individual cell voltages, remaining power, and total capacity. We also have the advanced settings where you can set your time to discharge and show your on-screen main display, or show your voltages on your main screen. Your Gimbal Tab, this is where you can set your gimbal mode from follow to FPV mode. FPV mode will still stabilize a little bit, but does give you attitude of the craft. Some people want a locked gimbal, that has been requested, but currently our FPV mode will still try to stabilize, but it gives you a pretty good idea of the craft attitude. Under advanced settings, you have 3 different profiles. Gimbal speed is, since we only have tilt control over the Phantom series, gimbal speed is pretty much tilt speed, so default's way too high in my opinion. I like it about 15. And then the other options like the 30 degree, that allows you to go up, look up with the camera above the horizon level. Gimbal pitch buffer, that's another cool feature that gives you a little bit of dampening on your stops, so it's not just that hard stop. I do suggest to leave synchronized gimbal pan follow off. That's kind of a leftover from the P2 H3 3D days to kind of keep the legs out of the shot. So I do suggest to leave that off. Otherwise, you'll see every small little correction that your yaw input that you're giving. And then obviously reset will reset all these back to default. The general settings tab, this is where you can change your measurements from imperial to metric, enable hardware decoding. So like on an iOS device, you can utilize the GPU and not tax the CPU so hard when doing software decoding. You can also enable your manual focus, on which I like. You can select your broadcast and also still enable Geo system here as well. This is also where you would set a limit to your mobile device cache storage, so you don't get out of hand on your data storage from the DJI GO app. Lastly, we'll go ahead and look at the camera settings. Camera settings, one thing to realize that when you're in video mode, you'll see video options, and when you're in picture mode, you'll see picture options. We'll just go on the video mode that has the most options. We're going to, this is your mode. You either have aperture priority, shutter priority, or manual. Auto's great on these cameras, but to get the most out of it, I would set it to manual. This tab allows you to do your video sizes, your format, also your camera video encoding. Under H.265, realize your max frame rate in any mode will be 30 frames per second, at least in 4K. I forget if it actually locks you down from 1080 to 60, but I do know in 4K it does limit you down to 30 frames per second. Also, another something to touch on the H.265. You probably want to record this in MP4 wrapper. Otherwise, Premiere 2017 won't be able to open it. If you already have some videos shot in the .movie wrapper, just go ahead and change the extension to MP4, and Premiere will open it even on a Mac. These last bit of settings gives you your histograms, your overexposure settings, kind of like these zebras over here, your histograms down here, your autofocus assistance and manual focus assistance. Let me show you that real fast. You go into picture mode, and what it does, it zooms in. Let me put it on autofocus first. It zooms in, allows you to make sure that you're correctly focused on what you're trying to focus on, or in manual mode, it also does it when you're adjusting your focus. Pretty cool feature, and I do suggest to turn that one on. The only other thing, the grids, it's the same as the last app. A lot of people have asked what's the purpose of the grids. Kind of watch the horizon. Also, for panel guys, it allows you to know if you're getting the correct amount of overlap. So line it up with some markers in the terrain or whatever you're trying to do a panel at. Just make sure you get those overlaps that you want. Where you can format your SD card as well, and reset the camera settings is under this menu. That's about it, guys. Just for the people that are new, you can also do a lot of the quick links up here. Voltages, your HD will bring up your radio. Your visioning will bring up all the vision options. Just kind of play, just tap. You really can't break it. Play with it. Learn it. Let me show you one other thing. Your intelligent flight modes, that's over here. I could do a whole nother video on these, but to get these to work, you gotta make sure enable multiple flight modes, but this gives you your intelligent flight modes. You have tons of options on the P4P and the i2, even on the standard P4 or Mavic Pro. So just kind of get in there, play with these. You can even enable beginner mode here. Like I said, play with the app. If you guys have questions, ask down below and I'll do my best to respond. Also on Facebook and RC groups and a few other sites under the handle Blade Strike. So let me know. I hope this helps a little bit and clears up a few things. I know it wasn't that in depth, but thank you for watching.